there's the thread up through that hole. It goes from the back to the front. And then it needs to go around and fit in between these two silver circles, like your other tension. So it goes here and there. Don't wrap it around. If you wrap it around, it'll get caught.
From right to left, you wrap it around the spindles?
From right to, I'm traveling this way.
Okay.
Yep. So it comes from the back up and through the spindles, right to left over the top. Okay. Now, a couple people do this differently. You need it to go in and in. It wraps around. So again, you're still traveling this way, back around. It then travels down through this little hook. You can put it right behind. Between those two metal plates again. Make sure it's between the two metal plates. Now there's a little wire right here. It has to hook into that wire and then down onto here. That's the tricky part. So we came down, wrapped it through here, on that wire, down here, and now up through the uptake. This is very similar to the home sewing machine. This little uptake goes right through here, here, down through the modified pig's tail, and then it goes in through this hole above the needle, and then it threads. Which way does the needle thread? If the long groove is on the left, left to right. So the long groove of the needle is on the left. You're going to thread it left to right. Okay. Now when you go to get the bobbin thread to come up, the bobbin case is really similar to the ones you're used to. So when you put your bobbin case in, I like to say hold your bobbin case up so that the hole is at the top and the little flip part is to the right. I'm going to use my bobbin, my thread comes up and off to the left, and put it in this way. What's happening is you're getting a little tension on that thread. The thread's winding this way, and as it goes through this little slip plate, I'm pulling it the other way. It's going to click in. Okay, this is just what you guys do on the other machines. Is this how you guys deal with your bobbins? And what happens if you put them in the other way? Yeah, you get those lovely, ugly loops. This will click in. Do me a favor when you guys are doing this. Don't rest your foot on the pedal as you're doing it, and don't have the machine on. I have the machine on and I keep my foot on the pedal. Don't do it. Shouldn't have set that on film. All right, so I'm there. Which way does my hand wheel turn?
Towards you.
Towards me, always towards me. I'm keeping my foot up. How am I doing that?
With your leg.
My leg. That's the cool thing about this, okay? Your knee pedal holds the foot up.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Towards me.
I was doing it all wrong last semester.
It's not good for the machines. And pull the loop through, just like you've done before. Okay? Now when you sew,
wait, so can you use the back hook to lift with the foot pedal too?
Yeah, I don't even know where it is. Isn't that funny?
It is hard.
Yeah, I always use this.
I never knew
I always
that.
use my knee thing. All right. Now the nice thing about this machine is when you're sewing, it is fast. Okay, that might not necessarily be the nice thing. Can you guys hear that? All right, now really listen. Can you hear something? I mean, the machine sounds awesome. Yeah, what's that? What's that ugly sound? There's a burr on the needle. Okay, I need a new needle. Listen again. Did you hear it? Snapping in the fabric? New needle, so I would want to replace that. Now, as I'm sewing, most of the time, at least the way I do it, the needle ends up in the fabric. If it doesn't and you need to pivot, you still want to turn that hand wheel towards you. Okay? There is a little guide here, but it's not going to stop you from sewing your fingers. So if you're really close to a corner that you need to do, use the hand wheel, needle in, knee, pivot. Now these are industrial machines, so what's the deal with the seam allowances on this? You think there's a 5/8?
Smaller.
Smaller and bigger. So if you're used to 5/8, you can put a piece of tape on it if you want between the 1/2 and the 3/4. But I use 1/2 inch all the time. I use 1/4 inch all the time. They're really nicely marked, super easy to see. The other feet that you can use on this, because there's really no zigzag or anything, you can use a zipper foot. Gets you super, super close for invisible zippers. This works excellent. And there's also a rolled hem foot, which I think some of you guys have used before on the home machines to do like narrow rolled hems on chiffon. This also has that. The other thing that I can show you on this is your back stitch. So as I'm stitching, back stitch, it is super fast. But look how straight it is. And look how beautiful the tension is. Okay. Now I will show you how to change the length, because that's pretty much all you can control. What happens if I'm trying to pull my fabric out? Let me try to do it. And it's tight. Do I just yank it? No,
Move the wheel.
move the wheel. Move the wheel until you feel it, okay? So that you can pull gently. You still want to make sure you have long tails when you start stitching. Make sure your tails are towards the back. And they go through the teeth. This is your stitch length control right here. This is the only dial you really have to worry about. What does a smaller number
Left
mean?
to turn.
Oh,
Smaller stitches.
oh my God, yes. And bigger is bigger stitches. That's all. So if you gather 5, I usually don't stitch much below a 2. That gets really, really teeny. And then the other thing you need to do, oh my goodness, wow. All right, you need to know how to wind a bobbin. Yes?